Good afternoon, students. Okay, before we start the class, I want to ask you, how many of you went for your New Year's party? Why? Why you didn't go? Parents didn't allow you. Why? Okay, it was quite late, too much of late. What you did actually? Kept quiet? No. Some of you must have protested also, right? Yes. So what is another name for protest? What do you do generally when you protest? You you revolt, right? You revolt for something. Revolt means you are protesting. Does this revolt takes place only in 1 day or 2 days? No, you have been accumulating things for a very long period of time, right? It's never a 1 day event, right? Today only mama said, oh, don't go to the party because so and so is the reason. And then you protested? No. You must have protested because mama always says the same thing again and again. Although your group, your friends, everybody is, to the point what is required, the terms and conditions as per your family, right? But still, they are definitely going to say no. And with a long passage of time, you are protesting. But similarly, the world around has faced a number of revolt. We are only going to now focus on the revolt of our country, one of the famous revolts that actually shook the British Empire. An empire who had decided that they are going to live in this country for a very long period of time and their Union Jack is never going to come down. Union Jack is their flag, okay? So they said they are not going to go away from this country. They were very happy over here. But the Indians, we actually protested against him. And this famous revolt is actually, took place in the year 1857. And this is what exactly we are going to talk in our lesson, the revolt of 1857. Well, we know this revolt by different tenets. Your chapter says it is called as the First War of Independence. Okay, it says it's the first war of independence. Why is it called as a first war? Not because it is just the first war where we had fought against the British. It's because the whole country had come down. Before that, we had a lot of revolts taking place. We were protesting against the British, but somewhere down the line, things did not take place as it should be. Okay, and therefore this is the first time where the entire British Empire was shaken up. And it was the first time when the British Empire said, yes, we have to do something for the betterment of the country. Now let's look at the causes. When we have a number of causes that led to the revolt, we are going to subdivide them into the political causes. You have the social, you have economic, then we have military, and the last but not the least, we also have the immediate cause. Today we will start with the social cause. Today when you look, which year is this? 2025. So when you look at 2025, the causes of these event, why the Indians were protesting against the British, we feel, oh yaar, pagal hai kya British? They have actually introduced such acts which were beneficial for but we are Indians, right? And for us, the three words, parampara, pratishtha and anushasana, that is very important for us. And our parampara says, you are not supposed to do this, right? And that was followed even today in, interiors of India. You have the Indians actually say, oh, you are doing something which is against our customs, our traditions. And that's exactly what happened in the social causes, right? Let me ask you one question. What is the legal age for us as Indians to get married? 21 years, right? Are you okay with it? You want another year? Why you think 21 years is okay? Okay, there are several reasons, because you want to study, you want to understand things, you have to reach a particular age where things will be better for you, correct? Okay. Now, this was something which was not there in our Indians in the past, in the tradition customs, What they used to have, they used to have they used to have the child marriage. And sometimes this child marriage was also when the child was just an infant in the prams, हो गया, शादी हो गई, खत्म, बड़ी हो गए बच्चे, and then they are coming in, as legalized husband and wife. Now that was something which was not acceptable by the European society. They wanted to come out with a new law, and therefore in India, what they did was they banned the child marriage. Okay, they put an act, and here we as Indians were also responsible because there were some Indians who actually supported child marriage ban. And as I said in the past, parampara hamari hai. Correct? So this parampara is not acceptable. This is something which is not acceptable. But how can you go against the rules? It's written in our Vedas, it's written in our books where we don't know. That's what the society said. And therefore, they protested against this. You think it was correct? That's what I said. Sitting here in 2025, you will say, Pagal hai. Why did they protest against us? But that time, it was something which was unacceptable by the Indians. Okay, the Indian society was just not, especially the higher caste, the Brahmins, the Rajputs, they were just not ready to accept this concept. Okay, then banned Sati system. Anybody knows what's the Sati system? Yes. When the husband dies, the wife had to sit on the pyre. You know what's a pyre? The dead body when it is burnt. So the husband dies and the wife has to sit on the pyre of the husband. You think it is an easy thing? You think a live person happily sits on that fire? What's the reason behind it? One, she is a wife. She's a woman, lonely person. No one will take care of her. Her husband is her whole soul and everything of hers. Okay, he's the one who's the caretaker. He's the one who's going to, actually be with her forever and ever and ever. So before life and after life, she is going to be with him only. That's what's the reason was. Another reason. Okay, now, she's going to be all alone. So she has to sit on the pyre. I must tell you, in many areas over here, people were not happy. The women were not happy, especially because you just, as a live person, you just can't sit on a live fire. You are a live person. I'll tell you, you get hurt, you actually, punching something, you are stapling something, and that stapler pin hurts you on your finger. The whole day you are actually walking, and I got hurt, I got hurt, I got hurt. That small pinch, that small, a staple pin which pricked you, you are crying the whole day. You think a woman is going to sit on the fire and say, oh, I'm very happy sitting because my husband died, now I don't want to live anymore. No, that was not. The lady was actually sodomized. That is, she was given some kind of medicines wherein she was not even in a state of understanding. Okay, and there was a big, huge festival in the villages which said, Sati Mata ki jai, Sati Mata. She was actually, she was actually considered as a Devi, as a goddess, because she's sacrificing her life for the husband. But for husband, there was no Sata system. Really, there was no Sata system. The moment the wife died, he can actually remarry immediately, even if that fire which has not even turned cold right now. The ashes have not turned cold. And then immediately he can. Why? He's a man. He cannot stay alone. He needs a companion. Okay. So there were several other reasons. So that is one other area where the British said, let's ban this also. Imagine in your own house, we must be having some relatives who is a widow. Somewhere down, some corner of our family, we have a relative who is a widow. Imagine that person being asked to be burned alive. Is that correct? No. Right? So whatever they did at that time was absolutely correct. Sati system was banned. Another, third most important, which today is right, but those days it wasn't. Widow remarriage. Now, Widow Remarriage Act was introduced by the British. Again, it's not that some areas we had child marriage or everywhere. It's not that everywhere we had child marriage or everywhere we had, the Sati system. Some part of the country followed the child marriage, some part followed the Sati system, and then somewhere else you had the widows are not supposed to remarry. Again, the same story. She's a widow. She is supposed to be the only person of the husband. It's like that, right? Okay, so she's not. Now how is she treated? Not beautifully. Not beautifully. What was she doing? She was supposed to actually live a very, very unhappy life. How? After everybody eating the food, she's going to eat the food. Whatever morsel is left, okay, the last part, she has to scratch the food. Whatever is left, she will be eaten. She has to shave off her hair. No functions to be attended. Even if it is her son's marriage, she's not going to be attending that function. Why? Because she is a bad omen. She is not somebody who's good now. She has taken away the life of the family. Who's the life? The sun, the Chirag. As it was called in those days, the Deepak of the family, the Chirag of the family is taken away by the woman. God knows how. How she responsible for it, right? But still they were saying this. And then, since the Indians lived in the villages in those days, okay? Now, in those days, we used to have a lot of cows and, bulls and buffaloes since it was a village area. Now, she was supposed to live in a small hut which was built for her, especially for her in the cowshed. So, now imagine no food, unhealthy situation, okay? Living in an unhealthy area, and at the same time, you are not going to attend any functions, anything. Again, correct or wrong? Wrong, right? It's not correct. Today's era, it is not correct. Again, I will tell you the same thing. Imagine one of your family member who is a widow. Perhaps it could be a grandmother or, anybody. Some distant relative of yours who is a widow. Imagine if that person had to, live such a life, such a pathetic life. With the father or with the husband or with the man, the story is exactly the opposite. He can lead a very happy life. He can go in for a second marriage, third marriage, everything he can do. That is permissible, but not with the widow. Not with the widow. And therefore, British introduced a Widow Remarriage Act. But these were few things that were for the society which was not accepting things, right? But there were certain other areas where definitely we need to protest. One amongst them is you have the introduction of telegrams and telephones. Okay, the British introduced this communication system. How are you acquainted to these? Do you know what are telegrams? No, not the app that you use, not your app, right? There was a system where this was less like emergency service, like your modern day SMS system or your modern day WhatsApp, right? It was an emergency service where a message was sent. It's sent from one, it's like a Morse code. Somebody sent the message from one end and the other end receives it via the Morse code. I hope you all know what is a Morse code. Right? You tap the message, the seamen, right? They use this method. So this system was introduced by the British in India. Not because they loved us, it was because it was necessary for them. So they introduced telephones, they introduced telegrams, they introduced railway lines, or rather I would say they introduced railways, right? Now this was for their benefit because they wanted to increase their business. And India was just not on the outskirts of the land, right? It was not only Mumbai, or it was not in Delhi or Lucknow or Bangladesh. Yeah, those days Bangladesh was a part of India. So it was not, just that limited areas. India was in the interiors of the country also. The Indians were there and British wanted to increase their trade and business. Now, at that given time, they introduced railways because railways is going to benefit us. Okay? Railways is going to benefit the British. Their trade will increase. And therefore, railways were introduced, a telegram was introduced, the telephones were introduced by them. Unfortunately, the Indians were not happy here also initially, right? Why? Because for them, telephones, if you know, the telephones had these poles which were square, which were like cross in shape. Okay, so according to them, these telephones were used as a place to crucify the Indians. They were hanged on those telephone poles. So they were scared of this modern innovation, They were very apprehensive of the modern innovation. And railways. Why railways? Who knows the love for trains better than we Mumbaikars? It's a lifeline, right? One day the train stops and finish. Khatam. No, That time also we Indians were running, when the moment they saw the train, the Indians were running. But that time they were running away from the train. Today we are running, looking at the train because I want to board the train and reach my destination. But Indians were very scared. They were apprehensive of the movement, right? The reason, again, when you see the train, it crawls. So according to them, it's a snake, it's a dragon, right? It's a dragon which will come and eat you up. So the moment they saw the train, they ran away from them. Another reason, in the train, when you board the train, do you ask when there's a seat available in the train compartment, do you ask the person, hey, you are from North India, na? You're a UPite, na? You're a Bihari, no? Do you ask that question? Hey, you are a Christian, you're a Gujarati, you're a Jain, you're a Marwari. Do you ask that question? No. What is more important for you? Hey, bhai, kidhar utar rahe ho? Acha, dada. So I'm going to sit over there. That is the only thing that you ask, right? That's the only thing that you want. Why? Because you want the train seat over there. But those days, people were very apprehensive because the British had divided the train compartments or the coaches of the train compartments into two groups. The first one, you had all the Indians, irrespective of caste, class, creed, religion, they would sit in that compartment. The second coach was exclusively meant for the British. Oh, what coaches they had for the British, right? But we Indians did not have in that format. We Indians, we had to sit along with somebody belonging to another religion. And India, as I said, I'm talking about an era which is almost the 17th century. That era, we still believed in the caste system. So imagine if the Brahmin and the Shudras are sitting together. We did it Shudras last year, right? Okay. So if the Brahmins and the Shudras are sitting together and if they are going to talk to each other, that's against the religion. Talk kya? Shadow bhi saath mein raha to against the religion. Right? It is something. So the Indians were not happy. Again, some other caste, some other religion, people are sitting together. Not acceptable. They were like, how can we sit? How can you do this? We come from an upper caste. He's coming from a lower caste. It's not acceptable. And therefore, the Indians were apprehensive of the modern innovation. Okay. So looking at this causes, children, I just want to tell you, learning never stops. Do share this with your squad, to enhance their knowledge.